Hello, good evening and welcome. Welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Fox Chair, on the panel tonight is the two veterans of Rangers Radio. Bridgeman and the veteran of many a campaign. Our South Side, how we doing, boys?
Good ox yourself. Good evening, Bridgeman. How are you, pal?
Oh, can I just say a huge good evening to you two guys, particularly the veteran helping us out here. And can I just say a huge good evening to the guys in the lobby and to all the Rangers fans that are listening in all over the world. Good evening. Welcome to Rangers Radio.
Yes, well, yes. We always like helping the veterans out, didn't we, Bridge?
Shocker. Shocker.
Unbelievable. It was good, mate. You hear you pay a wee trip up to Erskine and he's got your veteran, Bridge. What do you think of that? Mate, it's been good, mate. I've enjoyed the wee break and that. Heard his own a few weeks ago, starting back. So, mate, it's been good. It's good to get the show back on the road as well,
Obviously, we're still in pre-season. Bridge is still he's still getting over the strawberries and cream for Wimbledon.
Aye, I've seen that was on the telly. I gave that a miss, mate, if I'm honest. Gave that a miss. Watched a wee bit of the golf and obviously the Euros. But it's been a quick summer. Looking forward to getting back now and watching the Rangers, mate.
The Olympics start this weekend.
They do indeed.
Just doesn't feel like an Olympics coming up, does it?
Nah, they've screwed it up, pal. They've just screwed it up.
No, right. Anyway, so a wee plan for the night. I think we'll talk about Saturday. Yeah, I know that Bridgeman was raging, but we'll still review it again. We'll talk about the game Saturday. We'll talk about the boys in the Lowland League. We'll also be talking about the draw in the Europa League for the Champions League. And then we'll maybe look at what happened today. The sad news that we can't go to Blackpool for a friendly on Wednesday scuppered a lot of people's plans, and some people have had to make other arrangements. Some people are going to certain shows in certain part of Blackpool, but we'll keep that to myself, Bridge, yes?
I love it, pal, love it. Yes, well said.
We'll keep that to myself. Well, we'll start looking at Saturday. Bridgeman, a worthwhile exercise against a decent footballing team, because whether Arsenal are good or bad, they still play decent stuff. I think, if I'm being honest, I think the result slightly flattered us. I don't know your thoughts.
Well, we saw it ourselves with our own eyes that when Arsenal felt up in parts of the game, they were absolutely tremendous. They were throwing the ball about as if we weren't even on the park at times. No, they were excellent to watch, and I loved watching them. And they missed some. I think one of them, I can't remember, it was Aubameyang or something. He missed some 2 or 3 really gifted chances, And overall, I thought Arsenal missed 5 or 6. We maybe missed 2. But I'm not taking anything away from your boys. Your boys did really, really well against a very, very good team. If that's the quality of team we're going to be up against all the time, we've got quite a distance to go, both in fitness and in quality. That's what
Yeah. I think you're right there. I think that's a fair comment. Southside, I think that we could have maybe scored another couple of goals, but I think they could have maybe had 5 or 6, and they had some right good chances, didn't they?
Aye, they certainly did, mate. Young boy Kelly had a great chance. Just didn't take it. But I think you could see the golf and a wee bit of class at times for the players they had, especially for the money they've cost. But it was a good exercise, Hawks, I think, just for the boys, just to get more minutes in their legs. I don't really take too much into the result business here. I try and look to see if we can get a sort of a gelling together, and we're looking to start to sort of play a wee bit. So, I mean, if you get back to the week before where we get beat 1-0, we created a lot more chances and should have won the game. And then if you look at the flip side of it there, we should probably have been beat by Arsenal. But the game finished 2-8, so you've got to take the sort of positives with it. Just sort of the playing minutes that the players got, not really the result.
I mean, if I'm being honest, I thought Lundstrom done okay with it being Statland, Southside. I thought their best player on the day is Big Massey. I thought he put in a decent performance.
Aye, he looked quite strong sometimes going down the wing, mate. Sometimes he just didn't get the final ball in, but it's sort of a better display than what we've seen of him. Still think there's one or two still look a wee bit shaky at times, but Lundstrom looked quite good. Still early days. Don't know if he'll play maybe right or mid and right in the centre at times, so we'll have to wait and see. I thought Itten looked busy up front at times. Roof put in a bit of a shift and a bit of running. But it's still early doors, mate, so I don't take a lot out of the friendlies really. I just hope it's just getting the team fitness in a bit of shape. That's the way I look at it.
Well said, Phil. Well said there.
It's
well
true,
said.
it is. I mean, but we need to critique the game and see how, as we've seen it. I thought that Calvin Bassey was the pick of our players on display. I thought that Kamara looked somebody who was just come in and was finding his feet after his holidays. Lundstrom done okay. There was some errors for a lot of guys in the park. I didn't think Hadji had the greatest of games. I know I'm not his biggest fan, and we did miss Alfie up front.
Yeah, and I think there's a couple of players like Roof didn't do that well, but he did all right. We just got to realise these guys are just coming back from wherever they've been, and they're just starting to get together again. So, fortunately, our manager's got a maybe 2 weeks, another 2 weeks before we play in the European. That's fact. Yes, it is about 3 weeks, maybe 3 weeks. So he's got it to do.
We play a week on Saturday against Livingston.
No, but I'm saying the European game I'm talking. So I do apologise. I was swinging about the European game. So he's got a wee bit of time to build up. Livingston, I wouldn't be too bothered about because the manager will maybe put a sort of understrength team out against them anyway, just to, shall we say, just to may hold people back for Europe, but it might do. Can't afford the
3 points, Bridge.
I know it is.
Nah, I think the team who plays against Livingston will be a team that will probably play close to the qualifier, Bridge. But I think the only sort of negative side for Saturday was Defoe picking up an injury because with Roof's suspension in Europe, I think we'll have to include Defoe in the European squad for the qualifiers. So that's a sort of downside there. But no, it's like I said, it's a friendly. Hopefully, a lot of them will get a bit sharper as the week's going. But we've only got another 2 games now next Saturday and Sunday, and then we're straight into the league games.
We'll touch on it later, mate. But you mentioned that. Do you think we might try and get some kind of maybe even behind closed doors game this week, mate?
I think it could be a possibility in New York's. It's maybe something that they'll try and scramble to get. Might even just have to be a Scottish team maybe run about. But I think you will try to get a sort of some type of closed doors game up at Auchenhowie. Because I think you'd have preferred that game. I mean, I know it was just get some game against another team. No, I know it's a friendly, but Blackpool would have got better minutes. You can judge them better than just sort of training all the time. So I think we will scramble maybe to get something, mate. I do believe they will.
All right, okay. Listen, I think Bridgeman, we better get these lines open. Hopefully there's people want to talk.
Come on.
Their views about Saturday.
Yep, go for it.
All right, let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show. It's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Yeah, we looked at a team that was off the pace, I thought, in Saturday, Bridgeman.
Yeah, well, obviously there's a number of our players struggled a bit, and you can see why. But I thought that Big Eaton had a good game. Yeah, I think Eaton had quite a good game. Am I thinking the wrong game? Wait a minute. I think Eaton he played on Saturday, didn't he?
Yeah, he was on the park, mate. Scored the goal.
Aye, that's correct. Yeah. So I thought my mind went back to the previous game. No, I thought Eaton played quite well, and I thought Big Bassey, the left back, played really well for him. So that's 2 really good things, and the rest were run of the mill. People were getting their fitness back, getting into the game, and so on and so forth. That was happening. But I think they 2 are probably the standout for performance-wise. But I thought a goalkeeper made maybe 2 or 3 smashing saves as well. So I was happy with that.
He had a couple of rickets with his foot. His feet south side, didn't he?
I was going to say, when just before Bridge said that, I was going to mention Alan McGregor did a couple of really good saves again. Wee bit disappointed by their equaliser. Never like you see a goalkeeper getting beat at his near post, but it is what it is. It's pre-season, you know. So, but he had a couple of good saves, and like you said, probably Bassey and Lundstrom at times sort of the pick. Itton looked busy, Bridgman, didn't he? Sort of done. He could have probably had a shot when he sort of ran in towards the edge of the box. I thought he should have pulled the trigger, and he sort of pulled it back inside to lay a pass off near the box. But apart from that, he done well for his goal as well. He managed to get rid of his marker and got some part of his head on it, but it's still early doors, like we say. So just treat it as we see it now.
Yeah, I forgot to mention Lundstrom. I thought Lundstrom had a really good game for us. That's a brilliant start for him. Brilliant start. He played the previous game and he wasn't that great. That's probably just down to physical fitness. And I think, did he play the whole game on Saturday? Can you remember? I think he played the whole game. So if we got to 90 minutes, and that was real well done. But the manager will bring him on. He looks like a really good player for us. You see the way he charges in. I don't mean literally charges in when he wanted to put, but he charges and chases the guy down, and then manages to break the ball, or the ball breaks off him. You know, so he can steal the ball off them, or the ball breaks. You know, and I think that's really good. Going to be a really good player for us. I think that boy.
Hey, listen. First impressions looked really. He looked leggy against Tranmere. You could see he wasn't fit. Obviously, he played 60 minutes, Bridge, and he was replaced with Jake Hasty. Yeah. Do your homework.
Yeah, I'm happy. My mind starts to go a wee bit, so forgive me.
Get it opened and you can read it. I know you're very good at reading. So he done okay for me. Done okay without being outstanding. Obviously, getting his fitness up, Southside, and playing with different players. He's got a physical attribute that I quite like, that we were maybe a wee bit short in midfield, especially when Ryan Jack wasn't there. Thoughts?
Aye, mate, I think we said that last year as well. We are a bit light in the midfield, you know. So he'll bring a bit of dig. And should bring that physical aspect that we've been missing. We'll still have to wait and see where he's willing to put him in, if it's going to be on the right-hand side or sometimes centrally. I don't know if he plays in the left at Sheffield United when he was there, to be honest, mate. I don't really know. But I just want to see him when he gets picked for Rangers and where we're going to play him, and I'm just looking for him to improve the team. But aye, he seems to bring the attributes that we're looking for. Obviously, that boy Namdi for Bournemouth, he probably would have come in as well. He looked physical, didn't he? Sort of for what we'd seen him, but obviously he'll be
bad news for the boy, isn't it?
Aye, it's bad news at the moment, but it might turn out to be okay, mate. It's something's obviously flagged up, and something hopefully it might take a few weeks to judge, and then hopefully we'll maybe see him in a Rangers jersey in the no too distant future, you know. Just
my understanding is it was just a routine check, and they all get the heart monitors, ECGs, and something showed up. So obviously a blessing in disguise. And when you think back what happened with
Ericsson
in the summer, mate, it just shows you, but you never know the minute. But hopefully it's nothing, and it's just something that has to be sorted. Yeah.
Aye,
I think we can look at Big Goldson. He's had a similar problem, only it was more physical in operations and so on and so forth. So I think that it's there. If there's a wee problem with the guy, you can look down there and see Goldson. So there he is an example. I can get through this. Whatever it is, I can get through it. Well, Ericsson was a worldwide thing, wasn't it? Goodness sake. What a shock that was. Shock.
Yeah, so I read an article today, Southside, where he's pretty confident he'll be back sooner rather than later. So hopefully it's just something picked up and can be resolved quite easily, yeah?
Yeah, I would hope so, mate. Gerrard didn't seem too fussed about it. He sort of just spoke about it and said he's a good medical team and that, and it'll get dealt with. So hopefully we hear some positive news over the next couple of weeks regarding the guy, you know.
And the boy Kelly, your thoughts on him? He's obviously... I grabbed the headlines I was going up for him, neat and tidy and done okay, and obviously he had a good chance at the weekend there and to score, but he still done okay when he was on the ball, yeah?
I think he looks a neat and tidy player. I think you can see his movement, the way he sort of passes the ball. He's spread a couple of passes across the park as well in a couple of games he's been on, so he looks like he's got good vision, mate. He looks still a bit young and he's still a bit... needs to bulk up and that, but he looks a good prospect. My opinion, I don't see him getting in the first team at all this season. I wouldn't think so, but he looks neat and tidy on the ball, and hopefully he'll maybe stay about the first team squad and get the experience, and also maybe play out with the Colts or whatever they're planning to do with the young boy. But the games that we've seen him, it's been good to see him, and he looks a good prospect, mate. That's what I think, anyway.
You're here. Thoughts, Bridge?
Yeah, I agree with Southside there. There's very little so I could add to that. I think he's right. Good player.
Aye. Hopefully he can develop because nothing gives us more satisfaction, Bridge, than one of our own getting in the team.
Oh, aye, for goodness sake, it'd be wonderful. I'd love to see, for instance, the young boy Kelly. I'd love to see him going on with Rangers. I hope the boy Wright. These are the guys that I hope would maybe make a wee mark last year, and they did their own way. And here we are, we're in a new season, and everybody's off the same line. So let's get on with it. And these guys need to show now what they've got. They need to show. And Wright, I thought Wright played quite well as well. But no, not a star, but quite well.
Didn't do a lot for me, if I'm being honest, Southside.
Nah, he didn't. He showed up against Cove, and he had a really good game that day. And he's come in and he's done wee bits and bobs, but I think he'll have a future. But I think he'll struggle. This is just my own opinion. You guys might think differently, and maybe other people out there will think differently. But I think he'll struggle and he'll do a starting 11 in the team come the start of the season. So I think he'll have to be content with coming off the bench at times. But I don't see him breaking into the actual 11 this season.
I'll be honest with you, mate. If we were only allowed to play two subs like back not that long ago, he's struggling to get in your 13, mate, at the moment, because he's done okay. And then as the season went on, his cameos were less. I mean, he did come on, he didn't influence the game much since he got the penalty against the Belgian team, Royal Antwerp, yeah?
Mm-hmm. Obviously, the playing staff and Stevie G and the backroom staff and Ross Wilson have seen something in him. We're not saying he's not going to become a good player. I just think this season going forward, he will probably feature in cup games and that, but I don't see him breaking into an 11 once we come to start the season and you're getting your go-to team every week and we're going into the Champions League qualifiers and hopefully into the Champions League. I could be wrong, but I just don't see him breaking in. So I think he'll have to do most of his cameos off the bench this season. That's just my own opinion. Ox.
All right. Bridgeman, I know you were emotional on Saturday, and what did you think of seeing supporters back in the stadium the first time since last March, 16 months ago?
Well, I have to say the whole stadium looked marvellous. I was really, really pleased with it. Thought it was beautiful to see, and of course, fans in the stadium is just like a luxury, wasn't it? And I was so jealous. And my hat's off to every one of them, and I hope they enjoyed themselves, and I'm sure they did. And I hope there's more and more games we can get more and more fans in there, get some cash into the coffers for the Rangers, and show our team how good as fans we are, because the team hasn't seen us for a long, long time. That's a long time. It's 18 months. They've never seen a fan to all intents and purposes. And there's some of these guys have came in on it with faith. They're going to play in front of huge crowds sooner or later. And let's hope all happens for them. But yeah, it was great to see the fans in. And I was off a couple of wee interviews I listened to. And it was really nice to hear. Really nice.
Yeah, if somebody is listening and was one of the fortunate few, or should we say the chosen few, Southside, how's that grab you? The chosen few.
The chosen few.
Yes, who were there on Saturday. We're on Butterbean when you was there. Give us a call. What's the number, Bridge?
The number's 0141 356 1972. Come on and join us.
Yeah, if you were at the game, one of the fans, or you've got something to say on that, come and join us. Be great to hear from you. What was your thoughts, Southside?
It was great, mate, to see the fans get in, wasn't it? For the fortunate few that get in. Made a wee bit of noise as well. I'm looking forward to us all getting back together. I think that's what we're all craving for, everybody to get back in together. But for the ones that get in and the ones that might get in for the weekend coming up, Brighton and Real Madrid, if you're lucky enough to go, great, go and enjoy it, especially the Real Madrid game. I'd like to go myself. But we'll see what happens near the time, mate. But it's good that the fans are starting to get back in, and hopefully it'll not be long till we're all back in there.
I'll be honest with you, Southside, don't repeat this, mate. I was quite glad Bridgeman never got a ticket for Saturday.
Right, I'll not tell him then, right, okay.
Only because it gives him a better chance of getting a Real Madrid one.
Aye, I think he has myself.
Aye.
That would be lovely, wouldn't it?
I think he's been picked out. Me and you'll get the Brighton game and you'll get the Real Madrid game. You can see it happening.
I just want to be available to watch Rangers, because that's really when you see them playing against teams like Real Madrid and Arsenal there. Oh my God, it must have been an eye opener for the guys watching, the fans that were there. It must have been wonderful for them to see that. My goodness gracious, and you can't say that Arsenal put out a piss-worthy team. They put out some great players, and they were great players. And I love the way they spoke to Arteta, and he took part in a bit of enjoyment as well. Really good to see. But please, a ticket for the Real Madrid game will do the Bridgeman very well indeed. Very well.
Medicinal purposes.
All round good life.
Make them feel better outside.
Sounds like it, doesn't it?
Oh dear. Yep. Okay. So we'll move on. So pre-season friendly, done and dusted. We weren't great. We never lost. Some positives come out of the game, some negatives. You move on. Yeah, Southside?
Aye, mate, 100%. That's like I said. Friendlies are friendlies. You can only just look at the sort of shape and trying to see how the players are moving about and that. Some looked a bit rusty, didn't they, a couple of weeks ago, but it's just an exercise. It's just to get minutes into legs and just to try and form a shape of the team. I think he's going to change the system slightly by the way he's been talking. So he's going to be looking at that. It's just a pity we weren't playing this Wednesday, but we'll have to go with Saturday and Sunday, and I'm sure that he'll have something up his sleeve in a way of shape and that, and the sort of team he's going to put out for both games.
What did you make of the talking points outside? And then Bridgeman can have a go at this about trying to get Patterson and Tavernier on the park at the same time. Would it be something you would look at, or do you think you're going to watch what you're doing?
Personally, it's not something I would look at. I know he was only on in that position, Tav, for no long, about 5 minutes or something before he changed it. It's not something that I like. I think he'll play one or the other. That's the way I would look at it. But obviously he's got a view to playing one of them wide right, possibly Tav. But it's not my cup of tea, mate. If you buy a midfielder that can play right hand side and can get up and down and that, then to me you play your right sided midfielder. But obviously he's got an idea, and if he picks it and it's successful, then Budiano, obviously.
Thoughts, Bridgeman? Bridgeman? Oh, well. Somebody might have sent him a ticket. He's got that email in his phone.
Aye, I can see.
Sorry, guys.
Loud now.
I couldn't get off that mute. I was on mute. I couldn't get back off it again. So apologies. That's what my head's going. I was punching lumps out of this machine here. Sorry about that.
What's your thoughts on the boys in the right back positions, try to get the two of them on the pitch? Any thoughts, mate?
Well, I thought that did you not do that was for a short period on Saturday, and it seemed to work out okay. So look, we know that Tav can handle himself a wee bit further up the pitch, and there are some people in our fan base would like him to be up the way away for the right back slot, and the young lads. A budding right back. So somewhere along the line, I'm sure the manager could work something out. However, we can easily take a look at what's happened with Scotland when they find themselves with Robertson and Tierney, and they don't know what to do, who's going to play where, what they're going to do, and so on and so forth. And in some instances, it's been a disaster for them. I don't want Rangers to be hit with a disaster. I don't want it. But I do agree that the manager should be able to try it, see how it goes, and I'd love it to happen. I'd love to be able to say that Tav can sit just in front of Patterson, and Patterson can do the business, and then the two of them can help each other out, I should say. And we'll see what happens there.
I think you've got to watch. You don't get the balance wrong. I think I can see he's maybe doing it at the right time, Southside. Maybe if you're looking at it, he's maybe, in his opinion, trying to get to his better players. But they don't necessarily become your better players if they're playing out of position.
I know, but I think we'll try it. I do believe we'll try it. I think it'll be against the lesser teams. But I don't see it something that we could go forward with all season. And look at the amount of midfielders we've got, and you're going to say Tav's going to take up one of their positions. Just if you've got Patterson at right back. I don't see it, honestly, but I think it's something they're looking at, obviously. I know if you can get them enough forward, they deliver great crosses into the box and stuff, but it's not for me, to be honest. It's not something I would be looking at.
All right, I tend to agree. I just think that Patterson will need to take his chance, and it's a duel on the sun at the moment. And the best man wins.
Well, aye, and he's young and he's just burst onto the scene, and he's played well. But it's, can you handle that for 20, 25 games in a row if you're getting that right back position, So, no, I think there'll be times to play Patterson and maybe drop Tav in certain games if you wanted to. I don't think it'll happen very often. But I think Tav will be mostly a right back for most of the season. That's just my own opinion. But
all right, okay. All right, we'll see what it takes us. It's a good talking point, but Bridget, I suppose we should be thankful we'll get two quality players in the same position.
Well, I think we saw the way the boy come on in the European scene in the heavy games ahead last season. The young boy Patterson, he became a star overnight, and he kept that kind of performance up. And I think he's going to be a really, really big star. So much along the lines that the Southside Bear says, I think that we have got our club has got a decision to make for themselves, and they have to come to an agreement with both those players. What's going to happen? I don't want anybody to be dropped just for the sake of it. But I'd like to make sure that the fans and the club know exactly what the manager's doing with both those players, because I don't want it to ruin any of their careers. And Tav, you saw the way he played on Saturday, some of the balls he was putting in, absolutely marvellous. Just great stuff,
All right, talking about somebody that we thought was going to be a star, but ultimately failed. We'll be joined by Andy Phillips. Evening, Andy.
Good evening.
How you doing, Andy?
No bad. Yourself, everybody okay?
Andy, that's no fair, is it? That's no fair, pal.
I'm used to it now. I've had worse, Bridge. I've had worse. Dear. Right, on the game, really, if they'd have took their chances and the big shagger in and saved a couple there, it could have been embarrassing right enough. We only played for 10 minutes, didn't we? I'm surprised that we didn't go at them a wee bit more. I know it's only pre-season, but I would have liked to sort of got about them right enough. And they're still a young team and all that. And the one thing about Arsenal, what I've seen there right enough, I think they'll get murdered at the back down in England. I don't think they can defend at all. I find it strange that Hitton don't get a start in the pre-seasons right enough. I'm not convinced that Gerrard wants to take them forward with it. If you look at his ratio, I wouldn't be surprised if he's quite up there when he does actually play. He seems to score goals. Don't get game time. You can't get in and about your teammates like you would be if you were, regularly playing. So maybe that's the thing to look at. Maybe you don't want him there full term right enough. I don't know. I find it a shame, really. I'm not saying he would be in the first if you look at Ruth and Morales right enough, but I think that guy can do a job. I think he's held the ball up as well a wee bit, when pressure's on in the main games right enough. But We'll see. I thought...
and did you not think that's a flaw in his game? He doesn't hold the pop. He's not that
sometimes, but I mean, well, you could look at it that way, right enough. But I mean, I thought the game after we beat the Filth in the first game there, and he played against Kilmarnock, and Kilmarnock would try to push down. He was holding the ball up the top there a wee bit. Like, you know, after you beat the Filth, you need to go and make sure that you secure the 3 points after it, and that's what we did. That took us along in that great run that we had last season, right enough. But I might be seeing something differently. I can't understand for the life of me, you know, in pre-seasons when there's no strikers there, we've only got the 4. And I don't know about you, and the 2 bits that I saw against Tranmere and Astle there, he looks to have lost a wee bit in the press from last season, right enough. I know it's we were saying...
Sands of time, wait for no man, mate.
Correct, that's the thing. And I know we're saying, well, we're still getting used to each other, but don't forget the teams that we're playing as well, they're at the same position as us as well, you know, so I don't hold with that, you know. I think Rangers should have imposed themselves a wee bit more there, and, you know, the last 2 pre-season friendlies, especially the one just gone by there, where we were cracking goals in for fun, win that French tournament, it set us up for the run. You know, wins breed confidence, and just you don't want to see you sluggish. You know, you can get into a mindset there that's not good for the team. But, you know, we'll see.
Will the pre-season be forgot about Southside if we go and beat Livingston? Then it becomes irrelevant?
Everything's will become irrelevant, mate. Aye. Andy, I know what you're saying. You like to look a wee bit better pre-season and stuff. But you've got to remember, we played Arsenal with at least 6 players missing. You know, as well. And we've got Middletons and Hasties and people like that on the park, Brandon Barkers. But the thing with it, I agree with you to a point, mate. I think he's got something to offer. We've obviously seen something in him. I think he can hold the ball up Ox at times. I think he's linked up pretty well at times as well. But it's about getting game time and getting chances. And Alfie's been fit relatively every week. The only time Alfie doesn't play is when he's suspended. He's never out injured. So it's been hard for him.
Every week he gets a rest on it.
Aye. So that's the thing with Alfie, and he's your talisman up front, you know. So, but Itten is a different total player for anybody else, and I've got a feeling that he would be more inclined, Stevie G might be inclined to try and play Roof through as a number 9 as well, which I don't like because I don't think he's a number 9 at all. I think he's better buzzing about the number 9 in the box, left and right, picks his goals up. But time will tell with Mandy. I think he has got something to offer. I think he could get some goals, but the ultimate thing is he needs game time and he needs a run of games. It's hard to keep coming on and scoring the odd goal here and there, then not getting a chance for maybe 5 games and then you're getting flung in again. So he really needs some game time, but that will depend on who he's going to play as the main striker, and if Alfie's there or no, then that'll be how we'll find out if he's going to get any game time, Andy.
Mm-hmm. Andy, is the point you're trying to make, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, I might pick up wrong. You can't really judge somebody till you maybe seen them 6 weeks in a row.
Well, you know,
we've never seen a thing like that, have we?
No. Well, are you talking about the game or are you talking about Hutton?
He's talking about Hutton, Andy.
No, I think with that boy, he needs a run of time. But what really worries me, like, is in his head, you know, he must be thinking, there's nobody here, and I can't get a start. Defoe's getting a start. You know, that would play with my head. You know, I'm thinking, well, look, I get 4 or 5 games of pre-season. Give me 50, 60 minutes. If I can score a few goals for you, I might make my manager feel a wee bit different about it. You know, that's just how I'm seeing it right enough. And I do think he's got something. From coming on when he's came here, I've seen something in that boy. I don't know if people agree with me right enough, but I just think there's something there that would benefit the Rangers long term. Personally, myself with him, you know. But
for me personally, and I'll go to Bridge next, Andy, and I'll go to Bridge. For me, the jury's still out, and I know he's been with us for just about a year now, but as you said, he's not a run of games. Bridgeman?
I think he's got some qualities. I think he's much like Andrew's saying, he needs a run. He needs a run. And I'm afraid that when Morelos sticks his head in, then Morelos is going to be the number 1. And Defoe will be right behind Morelos. And then, of course, Roof would walk in again as well. So he's going to find himself.
I think Defoe will be 4th in that pecking order.
Well, you can mix the 2 of them up then. because obviously the foe may start to see the number of games he has is diminishing. But from an Itten perspective, if I was him, I would see myself fourth in that list. But no matter what he does, he scored a fantastic goal at the weekend.
Good.
And if he can do that again, with even through the short things, build the confidence with the manager. I dare say the manager's very happy with him, and if he can keep building that in, then he'll get games, and everybody will be confident when he comes on. Sometimes when he comes on, and the first time he touches the ball, bounces off his shin, and you can never recover for that. Sometimes that's the rest of your game knackered, when he does that. Anyway, that's what I think.
All right, we've been joined by Big Al, even the big man.
Good evening, gentlemen. How are you all?
Evening.
How are you doing, Big Al?
I am doing good.
What's on your mind, big man?
Oh, just when you were talking about Patterson and Tavernier, I think it's time Patterson to play. You have to play. He's burst onto the scene. I think he's shown attributes that we got desire in our players. Even I seen him when he came on for Scotland in that Euros. I think like a 7-minute period, he was up and down that park. He was intercepting the Bosnian. And what I think he's got composure. I mean, Tavernier was kind of at fault for that goal against Arsenal. His usual thing, ball coming out of the tap, takes a touch, just didn't get it out of the park. The players pressing down him. I think Patterson's got a better level of composure in him. When will the young guy get a chance? If Tavernier's playing, I mean, you can't have that young guy sitting on the bench. He's such a good player, getting drips and drabs here and there. Tavernier's not a player that gets injured. So I think, as it was Southway said, it's a matter of when he does get a game, you're dropping Tavernier. I'm not saying Tavernier's a bad player, but I do believe Patterson's the future. I'd like to see him play. I'd like to see him start.
Who's the better player this new, Al?
I'd say Patterson.
Don't see it, mate. Don't see it.
That's your opinion. That's your opinion.
I think Patterson's quicker than Tav.
Right.
Yeah. I think he's maybe better defender than Tav.
Right. Just can I stop you there with that list, and then you can carry on.
Right.
First and foremost, what you said there, defending. That's what he is. He's a right back. He's a defender.
The thing about it is, who's the better player? And I still think the Tav at the moment is still the better player, in my opinion. Southside.
I think I think Tav's the better player at the moment. I think the young boy's full of enthusiasm, full of energy, no fear. Right, I think we can see that in him. Watch him a few times. He can dive into sort of positions and he'll get turned and caught out. But that's just the experience. Obviously, he's a young boy, and if you went with him this season and say we never had Tav, then you'd have to accept that now and again he's going to make mistakes.
But what you said there, I think Tavernier does the same. I think he dives into things, gets caught out of positions.
Tav's no the best defender, but he's got far more experience at the moment.
Goals in the league last year, Al. 13.
But there's a back four there and a number one goalkeeper in Europe. Not just into Tav.
No, I never said it was.
I know. Look, I'm not. I just think at this period in time, we're moving forward.
You're getting the jersey. You're getting the jersey to Patterson. Is that what you're saying?
I would give the jersey to Patterson at this moment. I'm lying here with gas map free in my left right bank at this very moment. I would give Patterson the jersey.
We don't need electric blankets. We're all sweltering.
I know. I see that.
Al, if you're doing that, that means Tav's not getting a game at all.
Well, this is what I'm saying to you, because this is how it's an interesting point, like how you're talking about it. We've got two players in a position, and it's healthy competition. It really is. So you have to make that big decision. The manager will make that decision. So where do you play Tav? Do you fit Tav into a system? Like playing him in that right in midfield a wee bit further up the park or whatever. I don't think you need him there, because I think you've got a Scott Wright, you've got you've got Patterson himself who can overlap there. You know what I mean? So what do you do? It's a big decision to be made, but whatever decision gets made, I'm sure it'll be in the best interest of the team. I would just like to see him. Too often we have young players like this, I think, and they can fall by the wayside. What will it do to the young guy's confidence? He's playing well. He deserves to be in the team, in my eyes. If you don't play him, he might know he might just fall by the wayside, and it's another young player that's never succeeded at Rangers, which I don't like. I think he's ready. He's all the man he's ever going to be. Get him in the team, give him the confidence. He's done well in Europe. He showed confidence when he came on for Scotland, and he's a good player, and he's one of our own, so I'd get him in.
All right, Bridge, any thoughts?
Well, we were speaking about it a wee minute ago. I would absolutely love to be able to say that we could see both of them playing and see if they can complement each other on the right-hand side. I don't know how the manager's going to do it. It may not happen. I know that the young lad's going to be a star for us for sure. I don't know how long it'll take him to overtake Tav, because Tav is playing well. However, it's a real difficult situation for our manager and the fan base. They might be split over the boy. And Big Al really likes the guy. I like the young lad as well. I'd love to see him playing for Rangers. I don't know whether he's got enough in him to overtake Tav right now, but I'd love him to be able to say they played alongside Tav. I don't mean alongside him as a fullback, but Tav maybe up front a wee bit and see how it goes with the two of them. They might end up having to do that anyway, but it'd been brilliant to see for a couple of games to see who is the strongest at what area. But I don't think you can take too much away from Tav, other than he's just back for injury and he's looked as if he's back into the game again. So let's hope all happens for both of them.
I'll go to Andy with this. After watching the Euros when the boy who got injured for Italy, what was his name? He was the right-footed boy playing at left back. He was inverted all the time. Could Patterson do that?
Possible. I'm totally in Big Al's camp here. I've talked this about Shuggy as well. I've said that every now and again somebody comes along, no matter what age they are, and becomes a star. You know, you had a young Steven Gerrard and players like that. I generally believe Patterson is the future. You cannot have a game, because I'll tell you, if that guy is getting missed about or sitting on the bench or not getting a game, there is clubs out there that will take a chance on him, because anybody can see that he's a classic. That's what I'm worried about, Al. Because for me, I'll tell you what, if you give Patterson 20 games a season and you give Tavernier a 20, this is just off the top of my head, I'll bet you find that Tavernier makes more mistakes at the back than Patterson does. And I'll make that statement now. And he'll get stronger as he goes forward. Patterson is the future.
What did Shuggy say, mate?
Well, Shuggy agrees with me.
That's unusual,
a bit hard.
That's unusual.
It's a bit hard for me, because you know what I think about
Is your nose growing, Andy? Is your nose growing?
No, it's not. But you know what I think about Tavernier? Nothing against him, right? He scores goals, he takes the penalties, he's a club captain. We've got to accept that, right? But as Al said, it was his mistake for the goal, and there was another one just before half-time. That boy cannot read a ball in the air. There was another one, the guy pinged it across and he jumped right under the ball, and the guy got it. I think he missed it. You know, I mean, he cannot defend. There's no danger at all about he can go forward, he can put a cross, and he can take a penalty, blah, 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 but he cannot defend. And when he goes up in there runs, if you watch, a lot of the times, he don't even come back. Somebody's got to go and cover that right back, which I get, modern day football, that's what it's all about. But, no, Patterson, we can't lose him. That would be an absolute travesty.
There's only one guy who can finish this debate. And thank you, Mr. Fox, and you come.
Good evening. I think Tavernier will hold his place, mate, in the team. As Andy rightly says, we'll probably play about over 50 games this year. Patterson will get chances in games. And I don't know if it's a case of what people think where Tavernier would move into midfield. I think the manager is flipping with the idea of going 3-5-2, and Patterson may be in the right side of back three with Tav on the wing more than anything else. That's my opinion.
That's us all told. That's the end of it. Fox has spoken. That fair enough, Southside?
Aye, it's like I said, like you're saying as well, I think he'll get some game time, and he did deserve game time, but you've got to remember he's a young boy, and you're talking about playing week in, week out at Rangers, and if we can get into the Champions League, that's a massive step up again, even for the squad that we've got that have been playing regular in the team, include Tavernier, include Barisic and that. It's a step up for them all going into the Champions League, and you are saying then that young boy can just go in there and play, no bother. You know, it's a big ask.
Well, all his mates were playing at Dumbarton at the weekend, and he was playing against Arsenal, so he is developing, isn't he?
Aye, and he will become the right back at Glasgow Rangers, no doubt. But I just don't. I think, to be honest, I think everybody. I think he needs to bide his time slightly, but he will get games this season. But I think Tav will be the right back. It will start the majority of the games. But if he gets 20 games, 25 games, and comes on in games, then what's wrong with that for this season? You know, what is wrong with that? It's giving him good experience, and hopefully maybe the following season then he can push on and look to develop to be the right back.
How old is Patterson?
19, 20, I'll check it exactly, mate. I'll get his date of birth. You give me 2 seconds. I'll come back to that. I'll just on, we mentioned the young boys there, the other young boys. Good result for them at the weekend, Southside, 2-0, a home to Bo'ness.
Aye, I caught one of the managers talking about it. I think it was 2 late goals, was it, in the game?
Aye, it was 2 late goals, aye.
I heard them talking about the game, but aye, it's good, and it was good to get a victory. He said it was like a lot of them were playing against the men, you know, Bo'ness, so it's good for the young boys to go in and mix it with the men, and hopefully that they're playing the Rangers system, the Rangers way. So aye, it was a good result for them, and long may it continue. We get results like that most every week.
Yeah, Nathan Patterson. Date of birth. 16th of the 10th. He'll be 20 in October now. He's 19 as we sit today.
Right. See that, the argument, I don't mean to be rude to him, but see that argument, he's a young boy, and look at the players you see. I think you stifle young people if you don't give them the responsibility. You can't use that as an... How old was Rooney and all that when they broke into the team? How old was Gerrard when they broke into teams? Good players are good players no matter their age. Doesn't matter. There was players in that Euros that were 19, 20 and that. They're grown men. I didn't like that argument of, he's still a young boy. We've got players in the team now that are established players that are still younger, 23, 24 and that. I don't think that argument stands up. If you're a good enough player, you're a good enough player. You just said there, but we've got other players at 23, 24. But there's no difference. I
can get what you're saying, I know.
That's what I mean.
I can agree with what you're saying, to be honest, but he's still young, and I mean, you're going to get in against a lot better teams, and he's going to have to play week in, week out, and there'll come a dipping for him in the young boy and that, but you're going to try and play him through that because he's been playing well lately, and it's only one game or 2 games.
But what you said there is nothing to do with age. Nothing to do with age.
Well, if it's no, then he'll probably go straight into the team then this season. If that's what the majority of people think.
He's physically there. He's a man. He's a you know what I mean. So I don't think playing against somebody at 32 is going to bother him. All teams look at our weaknesses when they come to play against us, and obviously when they come on as a sub in the European game, I can't remember the game it was last season, but they doubled up on him, trying to get him down the wing because they knew he was a young. He got caught out a couple of times, but he done pretty well in the game. He done pretty well, but they still targeted him a lot, and that's what would happen to him. But he's going to get his space. I think if he gets game time, just don't think he'll be a regular. And then it's going to benefit him. I think maybe the following season we're looking for him to push on and be a regular. I think maybe. You know?
Watch your space. Football can be cruel and kind at the same time, Bridge.
Yeah.
It could be an injury or a loss of form to somebody in front of him, gets him his chance, and we'll see where it takes us. But watch this space, and it's good to have 2 great players for the same position.
Well, you know, that's how the boy started, didn't it? He got a marvellous chance in the European game, and he took it through somebody's injury. So That's the way I like to see it happening. You take your chance and away you go. And Patterson will. Everybody says it. Every Rangers fan that's seen him thinks he's going to be a tremendous player for us. It might take another season to let him shine through. However a manager manages to do it, I'm sure he'll manage it the best for Rangers. That's what I want. And I love the guy. He's brilliant, the boy.
All right. Andy, what did you make of that? Lowland League, the boys getting experience.
I think I think that's a cracking idea. You know, you come up against big hard men in the A-Leagues right enough, stand up and get a majority of results. And yeah, that can only be good for the Rangers, because if we've got any good diamonds in there, and hopefully they'll do what the idea is to bring them up, integrate them into the first team. We're bringing Warren through. So you can't argue with that. It's a cracking idea. In fact, they should be letting them go in the Division 2 or Division 3 now. Kenny Minskins have changed it right enough. I would have him in that league, but this is the one that we're going to do this season. It's been nice. We made it nice with him getting beaten it as well, didn't it? So it was even better there, right enough. So yeah, I don't know how many will come through out of it. Like we had this discussion last season, didn't we? I was looking for maybe 2 or 3, but maybe I was too ambitious there, right enough. But you can pick one out more or less every season. You're going in the right direction. This will help us. There's no doubt about it, in my opinion. I think it's good. The authorities up there start using their heads when the crowds are allowed back in. And I read somewhere that did it not get sold out for what was allowed in it to watch it, So I think you would get big crowds.
I think it was something like 125 were allowed in.
Yeah, but I think does the ground had 2,000 or something? I'm pretty sure if the crowds were normal, they would get full houses there, right enough. I tried to find it. They said it was on at the weekend, but I couldn't find it,
It was on, and obviously a good result. And we wish them all the best. We'll follow it closely as we go on. But hey, I watched the debate, and we'll see how that pendulum swings. Big Al, question for you. No, big man fell back asleep by electric blanket on. Big Al.
Yes.
Is
bridge, man.
I mean, I'm not I've not been his biggest fan in some respects, but Calvin Bassey, Donald Kane Saturday, does the same argument come for him? He's roughly the same Nathan Patterson?
Nah, but Barasic's a better player than Bassey. I think Bassey's he's big and strong, and he seems to get up, but I think he's no delivery, has he? I don't think he's got a delivery. I think Barasic see that. The argument you've made there, I don't think it's really a good argument, because Barisic is a better player than Tavernier. So it's difficult in that position. Bassey still, he's kind of number 2 for that position. I don't really know if he's got a place moving forward, because these pre-season games, there's a lot of players there. I've came on like Middleton, Jones, maybe even Bassey. You could put his name in it. I've not been impressed with that Simpson. I mean, I think we need to clear the deck. So, no, I wouldn't say Bassey's still the number 2 position, if he is the number 2.
I'm going to let Southside answer the point you made there about first team fringe players, or for the want of a better name, and we need to clear the decks. Southside.
Yeah, I think this season, going forward, I think somebody like, say, Scotty Arfield, I think he'll struggle to get in a Rangers 11.
Yeah, I think towards the end of last season, that was the case, wasn't it?
I think he'll struggle once. If you've got, I mean, obviously you will take injuries and pick up wee things, but if you're looking at the majority of the squad being fit next season going forward, I think he could be a casualty. I think Scott Wright, I heard you mention him earlier. I think he'll struggle to get in a Rangers 11 as well.
Right.
Starting,
That's his position. Yeah. He's played 3 or 4 positions across that front.
Katic, I don't see coming back probably and getting in that team either. So I think we really, Edmondson, no, and Balogun, I would probably think we really need to go out and look at it to try and get a dominant centre back. Anyway, that's what I think before the season starts. But that's just my own opinion. Hadji as well could be another one. Maybe no start in an 11.
But you could name about 10 players.
But they've been first team players for us. So you're going to have to look at clearing the deck with one or two of the players that have took us forward for last season. And Scotty Arfield for me, although I like him, I mean, there's nothing against Scotty Arfield. I think he's done a great job for us. But I just look at the dynamic of the team and certain players. You're going to have to fit a Rebo into that team. Kent's got to play Alfie. Well, I think he'll not play where he probably played. I think Sakala will play up the front somewhere. But, I think he'll play more than somebody like Arfield. Would you not agree?
Aye, but that new guy we bought, that Lundstrom, is, they talk in the chat that I've been hearing is that's his kind of position, is going to be this driving forward midfielder. This Sakala boy, he looks a very good prospect. Where does Aribo fit into the team? He's a bench. He's on the bench now. He's went for a first team player, I believe, to be in a backup player. I'm not that impressed with him. I know he's got touches. He has good touches and things like that, but I'm still not that impressed with Aribo. I think he'll be a bench player.
When we've seen him at times in midfield, and he looks better one up when he played in the role that Hadji played in, sometimes in the right of the front three. Mm-hmm. But then he's also been good when he's filled in at left back. He's some magnificent games last year, Joe Aribo.
Oh, he's not getting in apart from Patterson.
What's that?
He's not getting in. Is he the backup now for Barisic? Sorry.
No, I wouldn't think so. I think that was an emergencies, mate. But he's, for me, he's a top footballer, mate.
But he's not consistent, is he? He's not a player that I've took to be quite honest. I know other people like it. He's a player that I've not took to. I don't see it. Him moving forward, he would be in our strongest team.
Well, it's fitting them all in, mate, isn't it? Fitting them all in.
Better never stops.
That's a good saying. That you ought to coin that one, mate.
No.
Better never stops. The emails never stop neither. Oh dear! Did anybody get a Castore parcel today? Anybody?
I believe the postman delivered one this morning.
Oh dear. I think there's no day goes by that somebody doesn't get a Castore parcel, is there?
You get a free bag. The bag was £55. They gave you it for nothing if you spent a certain amount.
Not did you have to spend $1,000?
No, not as much as that. I've not got as much as Bridgeman.
You can tick it. You know that.
What a shocker.
Yeah, profit check.
They were bumped many a year ago, Al.
I know, did you bump them? I remember the boy where I lived, he used to drive about in a Jag. I don't know how he had the money for a Jag because nobody ever paid him back.
All right, get yourself some mute.
Oh, sorry.
All right, what are you going to say? I'll go on before we get to the tune.
I seen something in the paper this morning. I was talking about Katic and Edmondson. Do you think they're surplus to requirements as well?
I'll come to that after we have a tune.
And then in fact goes the final whistle. And Rangers, the Scottish Premier Champions, have won the best of the clash.
The streets be running narrow, follow we will, follow we will, follow we will. Though the streets be running narrow, follow
this time, and the goalkeeper never even saw it.
There's not a team like the Glasgow Rangers. No, not one, and there never shall be one. Starting all of their troubles, we will fight till the day is done. There's not a team like the Glasgow Rangers. No, not one, and there never shall be one.
Brilliant run by Haisley, drifting left towards the end of the penalty area. Swings the ball back across by Guys. Oh, the Guys just scored for Rangers! A superb goal! Walter Smith turns into Lutzen.
There's not a team like the Glasgow Rangers. No, not one, and there never shall be one. We are the Rangers boys. Young boys by young boys. We'll do anything to see a team at right looks all away. For we are the Glasgow Rangers boys. We are the Rangers boys. Young boys by young boys. We'll do anything to see a team at right looks all away. For we are the Glasgow Rangers boys.
Durant found Haisley running across the left side. A ball played across, and McCoy's coming in, heading it first time for his 29th goal of the season, and Scotland's goal kick strikes again.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
You enjoy that, Bridge?
I'm still singing hello. We are the Rangers boys. I kept that clean.
Yes, yes. What a tie that was. That's a real game of football, isn't it?
Marvellous. Just marvellous.
I bet there's
Who was the
something in that.
commentator?
I don't know, mate. Not got a clue.
But with a big seed.
No, it wasn't.
That was me.
No. Sounded like him.
It wasn't actually McPherson, no. Andy, you must have enjoyed that, mate. That tie, yeah?
Oh, definitely. I remember that night, right? Well, couldn't get a ticket, like, but with about 15 Ian Durant loyal guys from Manchester in my dad's house that night. Great night, great day. A lot of Rangers fans doing, but I believe you got one, didn't you?
Yes, I was sitting just in front of the director's box.
Aye, I believe so. Aye. Never mind. It was a good day though. A good night and good result. Fantastic.
Yeah, aye, man, special day. Right, okay. Big Al, what was the point you made before we went to a tune, mate?
Katic and Edmondson, are they surplus to requirements?
I'll go to Bridge after that.
I just seen a thing in the paper this morning.
Edmondson for me, yes. Katic needs to go on loan to Christmas and play games because he's injured. That's my thinking. Bridgeman, centre half expert.
Well, I don't know about that, but I think Katic hasn't had a chance to get back into the team yet. We need to see what he's like when he gets back, see how his fitness holds up. Edmondson been doing a job, although a small job at the moment. He may be required. We don't know what injuries are. We don't know where Golson's going to stay. These are the imponderable questions. Actually, I think what Golson will stay. I think his contract starts just for saying it's the end of this month. I don't know when it would start, but I'm sure that the manager will be pulling out all the stops to get Golson to stay. I've never heard of him saying he wanted away, but we would be dead keen in getting Katic back if that was the case, because you need a wee bit a central, shall we say, good man. Although I think Balogun's done no bad, apart from a couple of wee mistakes, but so you get Balogun and Edmondson. Between the two, they'll be able to make a centre half for sure.
What about Helander?
Helander, well, I don't know. Is he back fit yet?
He played in the Euros, mate. He's just not back because he's...
Yes, but he's not back at Rangers. He's not back fit at Rangers yet. That's what I mean.
I think he's back, mate. I think he's back. They came back last week, the boys, for the Euros.
I hope he's fit and he recovers from it, because I reckon he's a fantastic player for us, and we're always really good. It's nice to see a strong left-hand side of the central defensive pairing, and it makes the job easy. It makes the job look easy sometimes.
Can I ask you a question, Bridge?
Of course, pal.
Bridge, seeing you're the centre half defensive expert, if we went to a back three, who are the three players?
Well, I've said this for a long time. You've got Barisic and Tavernier, and they like to wander up the park, so they should be pushed up further. And you would want, that's when the likes of young Patterson might just fit in there at the right back side of it. And of course, it would be Helander, Golson and Helander, and it would be the main centre halves, and a good right back in them. And that's the way I would see it. You need to get three absolutely first-class players on form. They need to be on form, and they need to be.
Did we not see the problem with that? Did we not see the problem with that formation with England?
Oh yes, I'm under no illusions. It's got to be right. The players have got to be right. I think Rangers have got. I think England have got a bigger problem with the Harry Maguire boy. He doesn't know whether he's a centre forward, a midfielder, or a centre half, and sometimes he doesn't do either of the three properly. When he's up, he doesn't do it right. Looks as if he shuts his eyes when he goes to try and header a ball. But he has scored good goals, so I'm not taking anything away from him. And he's been invaluable getting the foot in and good tackles in, and getting good headers in defence. But I don't think he's the greatest centre half in the whole world. I don't know. He's one of the poorest centre halves I've seen for an England team. Is
the balance incorrect here then? See, when they play the three at the back, like, should you have three centre halves? You know what I mean? Or like if you play Patterson there, he's one to rampage forward. That's his kind of game, isn't he? He's maybe a wing back, maybe a bit like Kyle Walker for England. Or should it be played with three centre halves, Bridge? Or do you want the two wider, the three to be more expansive? How do you play that?
Personally, I would go for three centre halves, 100%. But you need to have three first-class centre
halves every week, so he could try and get in the team. That's how.
Shocker.
Oh, if you don't get it right, you end up with the fullbacks. You've seen that after 20 minutes with England, didn't it? The two fullbacks go back and back. You end up with five at the back, and then your midfielders go deep. And the next thing you know, you've got seven at the back, and you can't get out in a close game. You know what I mean? Anyway.
But the manager did allude to that at the weekend, didn't he? Saying changing up thing, because I thought that was really positive by the manager, because we've seen in the first two seasons he was kind of rigid with his formation, and teams got to know it. Now, if he can shake it up a bit, I think that bodes well for us moving forward in the future.
Here. Anyway, talking about class acts, we've been joined by Rudy Bear. Evening, Rudy.
Oh.
Evening, Ox. How you doing, Big Al? Bridge man.
Aye, good, mate. I heard you the other night there, mate. Good to hear your dulcet tones.
Thanks very much, Al. Same to you, mate, as always.
Right, I'm going to hang up, boys. The zoo's opening up. That's a couple of them woke up. So. I'll need to go and open the cages. They're starting to bite the metal.
Let them out.
Aye, I'll let them out. Right, no, I'll keep listening to you guys. I'll need to go. Sorry about that, Rudy. I didn't mean to be rude to the.
Yeah, you're all right, mate. You're okay.
All right. Right. You have a nice evening. Thanks for taking my call, guys. Thanks.
Cheers, big man. Cheers, big
Al.
Take care.
Cheers, Big Al.
All right, Rudy, I'm glad you came in, mate. I was just about to ask what people thought of the draw, but at least I've got somebody with a bit of brains joining me.
I don't know if it'd go that far. I think it's pretty much a muchness. I think the two clubs are pretty. They're even. You're obviously talking about the European draw here, Ox, aren't you? So, aye, they're pretty even. I'm not really fussed which one of them it is, though. Aye, I'm not really bothered, Ox, to be honest, because I think we've got the beating of the two of them. If we get our full complement of first team squad back, we get Kent back and all that. He's got a wee niggly injury or something just now, apparently, hasn't he? So hopefully that gets cleared up kind of sharpish and we get Alfredo back. He comes back off international duty and stuff like that. I have probably feel calmer about this draw than I have done in the last 2-3 seasons, Ox, in all honesty. I think it's a pretty good draw for us. That's not to say, that we'll not come up against some real quality, as hopefully we progress. But as it stands now, I'm not really fussed either one would do me, Ox. I'm not really that bothered, to be honest.
I've got Malmo's favourites to go through, and I've got us slight favourites to win.
I think you're right. I think you're right between in that tie, right between the two. I think you're probably right with Malmo, and I think they're sitting at the top of their league just now, aren't they? So you might, so you're probably right, Ox. But I still think we're a better team than both of them on one night, on one day. I mean, if you look back to some of the results we've had in the last couple of seasons in Europe, the likes of Galatasaray and Porto and all that, you can't tell me any of the two teams are as good as Porto and Galatasaray and teams like that, And the fact that we'd gone to Holland and scalped Willem II 4-0 as well in away time. I mean, when was the last time a team done that to a Dutch team on their own soil? So I don't have any qualms about this, Ox. I'm pretty much thinking either one will do me,
All right. So outside I've got is playing Malmo, and I've got they're 55, they're 45, so there's not much in it to go through.
No, I'd agree with you. I think we need to get players back and get the system going and seeing where we are with the team selection and formation. So the now it's Malmo, I would think, and I think Rudy, we'll just need to wait to see where we are when we get there. Team wise and selection, but I think it'll be a tight game. But I think it's a game we can win. But we've not got long to prepare. So
it's right what you say, Southside. It's getting the squad back together again, isn't it? And getting and it's into their legs, all that kind of thing. Get back to playing the kind of football we saw them play last season again.
You'll have obviously Roof and Kamara's going to be missing.
Yeah.
So you'll need to. That's why I was thinking with Defoe coming off for an injury. Rudy, I said it earlier. I thought he'd probably be in the squad.
Aye.
Was obviously so he's come off for an injury, but aye, it's a game that we can win. But we've just got to get the team settled and get a formation that he's wanting to play. I think we'll maybe get another signing or two in anyway. Whether they'll be eligible for that game, I don't know, but it'll probably be the one after if we get through that. So I can see a couple of signings, but aye, it's a game we can win. But I agree with Ox, it's a 55-45 tie, I think, for us.
All right, Andy?
Yeah, I think it'll be Malmo. I think it'll be even tighter than that. I don't know, at the top of the league, are they? They're always had a bit of a standing in Europe. I know they dropped away off a few years, but the fact that they've played, 10 or 12 games already? I think it could be harder than what we think, because we've got to get up to speed, haven't we?
That's the only concern I've got, Andy, is the fact that they're a fair bit into their season now,
That will they're settled into the pattern kind of thing, like they have a history in Europe, albeit not what you call totally brilliant, but they did get to a final there, so the guys do know what it's all about in that club to compete in that. They seem to be around, the early stages of it. So, yeah, I don't think it's as easy as what we think it's going to be. What happens, just throwing one in there, if we don't get through this time, what happens then? Do we go straight into the UEFA Cup, like?
No, we have to play a qualifier round to get in that, I think.
A qualifier? Right.
I think so. Wait a minute. I'll get Fox to check that out while we're talking, yeah? I'll come back to you. Yeah.
Don't like the sound of that. Let's get this job done then, like enough. And,
no, this is the last one. So this is the last qualifier, so I think we maybe go in straight in the UEFA group stages, but I'll check that out, Andy, before we go any further. Bridgeman, any thoughts? All right, south side. So it'll be a close tie. I think we're all agreed in that, yeah.
Aye, mate, aye. Well, we've had trouble with them before. They've put us out of Europe before, you know.
Aye.
So, I don't know if they changed their surface to AstroTurf.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure.
The Scandinavians have got that, the 4G and that, haven't they?
I'm not sure. I could be wrong, but I thought maybe when they played in the games before, I'd seen them playing on an Astro Park. I might be wrong on that, but anyway, it'll be a close game, and it's a game that we need to win. There's no doubt about it. It's the Champions League group stages. That's the aim, and the league championship this season. That's the two aims: to get into group stages and win that league. So that's what we'll be looking for, and that's what we'll be going for.
Arguably, Rudy, the biggest game of the season.
Aye, it certainly is. Ox, to use an expression that Bridgeman's famous for. Aye, biggest game of the season. It's I think if we want to keep improving on the pitch, Ox, I think, and I'm talking by that, I mean, you know, player-wise, bringing players in, I think it's imperative that we get money for European football, and that's where all the big money is, the Champions League, Ox, you know. And it would just be, it'd be amazing to see us back in the group stages of the Champions League. You know, you're talking about somewhere between 30 million, maybe 35 million, aren't you, for the group stages of the Champions League alone, you know? And really, you know, if we want to improve, you know, football-wise, player-wise, club-wise, that's where we should be. It's where we have to be, bringing that kind of finance back into the club again. So, aye. You're right, so far. Anyway, it's the biggest game of the season, I would suspect.
Right, okay. Another story broke today. Somebody accused me of winding him up today, but I let him know kindly, I may add, in case he wanted to change his plans. The Blackpool friendly had been cancelled. Andy for Leeds, a disappointment for a lot of Bears.
Absolutely got it, mate. I'd got all my tickets sorted, got a ticket for the game. Getting to meet some, there was a good possibility I was going to meet Butterbean, and I'm absolutely excited. I'm going anyway.
You dodged the bullet.
I think he can handle BB. He's all right. He's good in the chat with me. Like, I'm not saying what it'll be like when he gets on to me right enough, but he's all right in the chat. He's a good guy. But no, I'm absolutely. I'm still going through. I've managed to get tickets for the Sash Bash Light, you know. So tickets got like. I just want it to be. You know, I've been Rangers many games. Many good friends and all that, but I get really excited about, really up for this. I know it's a friendly, but just to be in, you know, 5,000 plus Rangers fans, you know, I'm running out of time of getting up to games now, and while I can still move about, I was really looking forward to that. My grandma's rung us up the night, like, says, "You still going?" I says, "Aye." They're worried about me getting pissed and not getting back in, you know, but I'm going. You know, still a lot of people making the journey. Ox, you know, a lot of people are booked up and booked hotel, so, you know.
Yeah, some people have got some cabaret shows booked.
Yes, there's something done.
He's disappointed.
Aye, mate, I was disappointed. I did think today you were at the wind-up. I was looking forward to getting down and seeing the Rangers. So, Andy, I'm still going down anyway.
Yeah, me too.
And I'll come back up the road on a Thursday. But the plus part of it was just to see the Rangers, you know. But I think we've got something else arranged that night. So, we'll go there. Confidential, Andy.
Oh, what's the line? Avoid Andy one, is it?
No, it's just confidential at the moment.
I know, I'm all sorted, like, you know. So I know
I wish it wasn't confidential. Oh dear. Anyway, we've been joined by Callum. Evening, Callum.
Evening.
How we doing, mate?
Good.
First time call? First time you've been on, Callum? Have you been on before?
I'm before.
All right, mate. How you doing? What's on your mind, mate?
Just about the draw.
Uh-huh.
And hopefully, it's a good draw, and hopefully Rangers do well.
Do you think we'll go through, mate? Yes or no? On the spot.
Hopefully we do. Hopefully we do, yeah.
All right, good, mate. I like your confidence. Southside?
Aye. I think we'll go through, mate, but I think it'll be a hard game. Obviously, they're into their season. They've had a few games. So that's what we're up against. But I'm sure Stevie G will get the boys ready, and hopefully we'll get that victory and go into the next round and get in the Champions League, mate.
Hopefully, yeah.
It's a big game. Big game early in
yeah.
the season. Early in the season. You looking forward to the season, Callum?
I am, yes.
And how's it going to go for you?
Hopefully Rangers do well, and hopefully they don't. They just want to get the covers up and just go for it.
Right, okay. Rudy Bear, if we play well, we skate the league, yeah?
Aye, we've got the best squad in the country by miles, Ox, in my opinion. And I know they're running about panic buying like mad, you know. But as it stands, we had the better squad last season. You saw that huge lead by the coming end of the season, 25 points. We've still got the best team in the country by miles, Ox, in my opinion. We play well, we play the kind of football, you know, that we did last season. We keep the doors shut at the back the way we did last season. There's absolutely no reason why we can't go on and win the league again, and we should, Ox. There's no ifs or buts about it. We should, you know, we really should, you know. Very rarely in this country anyway does a team win one league and then no win the following season, you know, win a league the following season. So it's incumbent upon the squad to knuckle down, get all the hard work done just now and get off to a flyer. And if you get a good sort of 9, 10 and 11 game run in at the beginning of the season where you're racking up points and wins, it's a good start to the season, Ox, you know.
Yeah.
It's important we get a good start, Callum, eh?
Yeah, it should be, yeah.
Yeah. Are you with us, Bridge?
I'm now, pal. I'm now. Apologies
Cheers,
about that.
mate.
I had to go and do some.
No, it's all right, mate. Carry on, Callum. What's on your mind, mate?
I'm just looking forward to the fellow with Madrid.
Here, mate. I'll let Bridgeman answer that because I know he's desperate. In fact, I'm trying my best to get every avenue I know to get Bridgeman in. I'm even trying to get him in Broxy Bear just to get him in. Bridgeman?
I like that one. Yeah. That would be lovely. It'd be marvellous, you know. One of the early games I was at from a European perspective, way back when I was a young man. And here I am in the twilights, hoping to get in to see Real Madrid again at Ibrox. It would just be wonderful. There's some team, there's some club, there's a lot of financial problems they've got at the moment as well, as we've had in the last 10 years. But they really are. They're an enigmatic team. And if they turn up, they can murder any team. They're a fantastic outfit, wonderful club, and great relationship with Rangers. Great friends. So I want to go, and I hope that all the other thousands of Rangers fans want to go, but don't let them go. Give me the ticket.
One of my all-time favourite midfielders plays for the Ox, Luka Modric. What a player that wee man is.
Aye, I think I read his book, mate, and there's a page in it where he said, I modelled myself on Ox. I was touched with that.
I would
I was really touched. I couldn't believe it, mate. Must have been the old DVDs, that. But anyway.
He's such a player, Ox, isn't he? What a midfielder, 36-year-old. Which runs a game.
Rudy Berry had one fabulous game. I can't remember who it was against, Swiss or something like that. Anyway, just outstanding, utterly outstanding.
He's so composed, Ox. He's such a composed player, and his passing ability is just outstanding. So it is.
There's a lot of similarities between him and Stephen Davis. Stephen Davis is top drawer, but Modric, who plays a similar game, 2 levels above, unfortunately. Yeah.
So that goal he scored with the outside of his right foot.
It was beautiful. That was beautiful, Bridge.
Why we haven't told us we're here for your dinner tonight, you?
Eh? Oh, a nice big plate of stew tonight and tatties. Stew and tatties, Bridgeman. Lovely. Stew and
nice
tatties.
player.
Aye. Oh, I just take what I'm given. Ox, I don't know.
She looks after him, Ox. She looks after him.
She does. I'd rather keep him for a week than a fortnight.
My mother used to say to me, I'd rather keep your 40.
Southside Real Madrid, I know it's a team that you'd like to play in the Bernabeu personally, but it's a great tie, isn't it, for a friendly?
Aye, it's a great tie. Real Madrid come to Ibrox, you know. We certainly whetted the appetite. I was just hoping that we would have got a lot more in to see it. Well, we'd have got in to see it, to be honest. But for the people that's lucky, mate, that gets a ticket, it'll be a great watch, you know. I'm sure they'll give you some game, and it just have been great to be there. But as part of the 150 celebrations, it was fitting that Real Madrid and Arsenal were two of the teams so far that's been invited, So it's just a pity, like we say, that you can't get in Bridge. But you never know, mate. You might be lucky. You never know.
Yeah.
He's
It'll be
always
just
lucky.
fabulous. It'll be a birthday to me. It'll be a massive birthday. That's right.
He's always lucky, Southside. Always lucky.
Aye, right.
That's how his middle name's Luciano.
Luciano.
Right, okay, well, Callum, thanks for joining us, mate. We're just going to wrap up. Good to hear from you again, mate, yeah?
Yep.
All right, speak to you soon, Brian, and you enjoy the friendlies coming up, and we'll hopefully hear you soon on the show, eh?
Yep.
All right, take it easy, mate.
Bye.
I think we've got one last caller coming in for the night. Quite a popular guy. He'll be with us in a second. Great tie, Andy Phillips. I would rather be there, but if it's just to see Real Madrid coming out of Ibrox, it'll be special.
Oh, definitely. We're two of the greatest teams in the world, isn't it? Let's be honest. And it's just a shame it's not got a full house. To charge it on there right enough. But how many's allowed in, by the way?
At the moment, 2,000, mate.
No, surely they're going to lift it now.
At the moment, mate, I think things are developing. Anyway, talking about guys that are developing, we've been joined by George for EK. Evening, George.
All right, gentlemen, how you doing? Good to hear all your voices tonight.
Nice to hear you, George. Nice to hear you.
How you doing, Bridgeman? All right?
All right, yourself, buddy.
Well, aye, bro. Kind of all right.
Under pressure?
What's that?
Are you under pressure?
A wee bit.
Aye, okay.
You know what I mean?
No bother, George. What's on your mind, Rangers-wise, mate?
Yeah, just phoning up to go. I'm glad to see the season will be starting very shortly, man. With the pre-season, I watched the game at the weekend, man, and we were lucky by it, man. We didn't get beat. We were very fortunate. We didn't get beat from McGregor, and McGregor wasn't in goal. But we just looked a bit rusty. To be honest, we're not talking about. And I just wanted to get, and I think I do think we'll get Malmo. And the group stages at the Champions League qualifier, and we've got a good record against them, honestly, I think we'll beat them. I really do. I think we'll beat them.
I hope you're right. Listen, George, always a pleasure, mate. This is still pre-season. They're building up to the full shows. Full shows start next Monday. George, give us a shout out, mate.
No bother, lads. No bother. You take care, boys. All the best. One at Teddy Bears.
Cheers, George, bro. Speak to you soon.
All the best, boys. Take care, mate.
Andy Phillips.
Aye, great to have you back again. Can't wait till we start properly, and I'll let you know in the future how I got on there on Wednesday.
Right. Aye, well, you've got a certain establishments you might find Southside.
Yeah.
To my mate, have a good time down in Blackpool. He's heading down anyway. He's going down for a party, so be safe. Him and his missus are going down, so the two of you be safe, and you can tell me the tales when you come back.
Southside.
Hi, mate. It was good to be on the night, mate. Enjoyed that. It gives you the wee goosebumps for the season starting back. I just think friendlies are just what they are, mate. Just iron out the wee teething problems, and then when the real show begins, we're ready to rock and roll. So looking forward to the season, mate, and thoroughly enjoyed the night, and it's good to get the boys back on talking about the Rangers.
You hear? Bridgeman.
I just echo what everybody says. Can I just say this? To all the Rangers fans all over the world, in particular Rangers fans on here on Rangers Radio, we're starting to really build up now to the start of the season. So everybody, thoughts on Rangers, keep it going for the Rangers, because the Rangers really need us. They really do. Keep it going.
Thanks to the callers. Callum who joined us. Big Alfie Australia, always a pleasure. Andrew Felix. Of course, we're one and only George VK and Rudy Bear. Thanks to Southside and Bridgeman for joining us. Thanks to Fox and Old School Blue for doing the technicals. This has been Rangers Radio. We'll be back at 8 o'clock. When all things being equal, we'll be joined by Alistair here. Thanks for listening. Stay safe. Take it away, Old School Blue.
See them march on, marching on through the years of history. Heads held on high, for the jersey they will do or die. Fight for time, play the game with the band of glory. Win, lose or draw, that's the Glasgow Rangers story. See them march on, banners high as they fly before you. Loyal and true, on the way to cheer the boys in blue. Follow their drill, marching on to the songs of glory. Win, lose or draw, that's the Glasgow Rangers story. See